Yeah, so these are from December 11th. Wow. So many days of dreams to go through. I wonder if I'll ever catch up. Okay, some weird, scary dream. It was like Transformers, and I was moving like some kind of beast I was moving through. And it was like post-apocalyptic. And I remember before this dream, there was like a storm cloud in the sky. I think that was this one. It was like this black, like those huge clouds that go all the way up. And there was like these flashes of red light and then green and blue. So I prayed over that. And if you've seen Transformers, the good guys are called Autobots and the bad guys are called Decepticons. So there's all these Autobots on the ground, and they were all... I don't know that they were dead, but I got the feeling that they were tired of all the fighting. And so I have a feeling that there's all these like warriors for Christ out in the lands, or potential warriors for Christ, and they're just exhausted of the fighting and they need a leader. And I know I have a desire to lead, to serve. And I know God's been growing me to be a leader. And so at the end, I'm like, man, we really need Optimus Prime here. And I was thinking, so is that me or is that Jesus? Like, we need Jesus to come down and we need the leader to rise up. But I don't think those are exclusive, because like I'm possessed by the Holy Spirit, which is to be possessed by God. So maybe both. Maybe I need to do what I've been trying to do, which is to represent the philosophy of Christ to the best of my ability. So people can see the purpose is to be led to heaven, led to the power and restorative spirit of God. What's his? Moving to be like a beast, rumbling in heaven, Transformers. Oh yeah, there was like this helicopter shooting at everyone, like with this giant like Gatling gun. And I was like, what the heck? And like, he was just mowing people down. And I was like, this is stupid. And I forgot how spiritually strong I am. And that's not me trying to be arrogant. I just pray and study and pray and study. And so those things and learning how spiritual warfare works has grown within me. Just like, you know, if you were a great soccer player. And so it was like the kitchen table that I'm next to now. I like picked it up and I just threw it. Like I threw the kitchen and I just threw it like hundreds of feet. And then bam, it hit the helicopter and it like the machine gun broke. And so they started firing at the ground because they thought that I was under this like lake of spiritual water. And I was like, oh my gosh, these guys don't even know what they're doing. And then I remember the budget was lower. This is a new part. Because the girl who was like British was talking to her kid. And I think this is my brother's future wife. And she said, don't cuss out dad. Like someone was using the F word from a movie. And I think the kid was using it for his, again, like at his dad or something. And I've seen my brother's potential future wife have a baby and be surprised that she had a baby because she never thought she would have a baby. And she was very filled with a lot of emotion about it. Let's see. Okay, then underneath the power plant, because we could hide there. And I was like, why are you all afraid? Because that's, you know, a very heavenly thing to say. I was giving out a speech. I did a recording and told everyone to turn off the power so Optimus Prime would come. So I think they're just listening to the rhetoric on TV, you know, everything's doomed, everything sucks, we hate everyone, everyone's this phobic or that phobic, which isn't true. Just some of us have opinions on things. I need another an allergy pill. I'll get through this one first. Oh, then there was this, so the bad guy in Transformers is named Megatron. He was like tied up with all these vines up in this tree. So that'd be like a heavenly arena. Because it was way up. And he was running out of life. And he said, and he was in this deep, like Megatron voice, I was fine until that son was born and he ruined everything. I'm like, oh, okay, so yeah, you are like Lucifer, head demon. And he gave the last of his energy to his son and it drained out. So I think that's like the future Antichrist who claims to be God. So I just thought like, I'm gonna have to watch out for the Antichrist. The problem is the Decepticons could hack into anything because they were Transformers, and so nothing was safe. And so I was with my friend from Amazon named Patrick, and I gave him a bunch of stuff. Now, I gave Patrick the 9 gifts of the Holy Spirit, so that's what the bunch of stuff is. And then he really took to it. Like, I knew he kind of would from kind of the melancholy he was feeling. Like, one time he said, I have feeling really apathy. And I'm like, yeah, I know why. And everyone at work kind of has seen me do miracles, or at least enough that they're open to the idea and they're not going to put me down. And he goes, okay, why? And I go, the future version of you is calling back to the present future version of you and telling you how great it is and like how great your life is and how you have really good finances and all that. And he's like, yeah, I definitely don't believe that. I was like, yeah. He's like, how would I possibly have finances? I was like, well, you probably work for me. And he's like, okay, fine. Because like any smart nerd, you might be miserable, but you don't want to stop your friends from achieving greatness and then bringing you along with it. And Patrick understands that. If I pull this off and he comes with me, he knows there'll be a great paycheck, respect in the workplace, and it'll be a chill job. And I have quite a few friends like that. They're like, there's something about you. I've seen a bunch of stuff that can't be explained. I don't know what I believe, but I definitely am on your side. So if you pull this off, I'm gonna go with you. My friend's like, I want $80,000 a year. I was like, fine, but you're gonna work for it. He goes, fine, but I want 2 weeks paid vacation a year. I was like, okay. And he goes, on a week's sick time. I'm like, sure, but nothing else. And he goes, and I'm like, and I want 40 hours a week from you. You can, if you need a day off, you can make up the hours later. And he's like, okay, fine. And so Patrick was saying, keep your money. I want this game. I want to play this game. So he was really taken with the spiritual gifts. I remember it was like a Star Wars game, like Knights of the Old Republic. And then it was also like Knights of the Fallen Order. So I guess it's a very heaven and earth game with certain key players being like the knights. You could call the paladin a holy knight. I've said before, the Paladin Corps is a group of people I'm starting where they want to work for God in like a capacity where they follow his philosophy, and also they have the 9 gifts of the Holy Spirit, which are like healing and prophecy and stuff. And I said, I think it was interesting because the second Transformer movie is called Revenge of the Fallen, which I thought was cool. And then I remember kind of thinking in my mind the Knights of the Fallen, so those would be like demons or bad agents on Earth. I also remember my favorite Transformer movie is called The Last Knight, which I thought was cool. Driving an hour away. Transfer some money, hope we could get it. I remember our house reminds me of my aunt's house. Driving, and I was worried about the bad Transformers being able to hack anything. I thought maybe there's some people that can stop them in the government. So I need to bring the government towards righteousness so they can help me with this spiritual... Oh, because you know what happens if I start proving that God is real by the gift of healing? That means the bad guys have to step up their game. And so I need to make sure the White House is prepped for that. Okay. I should really write that down. Huh. War on Heaven and Earth. Got pushed into the dam. Someone was guarding the door, and this robot, so it was more Transformers down there. And they jumped backwards when they saw me and had a gun. This robot with me was like Optimus. It was all good guys down there. And later they were like, so I think I was trying to rally them up, and they're like, I don't get it, but these people need to eat. So I think they were like, I don't understand what's happening, but we'll follow you because it seems like where you go, things happen. And then I remember they were giving them like trash from a trash truck, and I think it was on the news. I think this was like a third world country. I don't think it was India. Because I want to bring Christianity to India. And then, okay, so this is a new dream that same night. I saw a sword in the air, a giant sword. So it was like 50 stories tall. And it was like amongst an orange background. And I've always said that I'm starting the orange party, the lion party, where we choose to follow Jesus. Because that is the only thing that'll stop civilization erosion. Because you look at Rome, Babylon, Greece, Egypt, and then almost America. Like without Christianity, like nobody knows what to do when you get to an abundance. We just end up cannibalizing ourselves. Oh, hey, this is interesting. I'm even saying it here. The lion party is alive and well in this era 12 years from now. So my guess with our kid and being 12 years in the future in the last stream was spot on. That is really cool. And 12 is the number of government in the Bible, so that's cool. Or kingdomship. I'm only writing it down because in my dream, I was lying down, the house felt heavenly, and I was worried. Oh, God. Okay, so this is a new dream. This is interesting. So, hypothetically speaking, I'm still operating as if what I heard was true. It wasn't that I would marry Lindsay. It's that I would walk and talk with Lindsay and then it said, look towards Christmas. You will walk and talk with Lindsay, look towards Christmas. Cool. There's been a lot of marriage themes because I'd like to get married. I really want to be a father. I really want to be a family man. I really want to be a one-woman man. That's my dream. One woman. I know everyone's all about open marriages and adultery, but I want one woman. I don't care if she's missing all her teeth as she gets older. So there's been a lot of uber powerful dreams where I'm like watching over things that happen with Lindsay, and Lindsay's watching over things that happen with me. And so in this dream, she was kind of like in my head in a consensual way, operating me. And she was in my room, and it was interesting how heaven showed my room. It was very like around, and my room is normal drywall. It's not made of wood, but in this active heavenly moment, my room like had these soft wooden walls. Everything was organized. The light was nice. The architecture was good. And so I'm looking at this, and I think she missed two important things, because what she wanted to know was that I was I don't know how to say this in a G-rated way. She wanted to know that she would be satisfied with any key masculine equipment. Ha, I did it. That's G-rated. And so I was watching her consider that. And what she missed is that my mind was clear and peaceful. I wrote it down. And I was looking with my right eye, which I knew was her, because when it's me, I'm always looking through my left eye, which is awesome because I prophesied that as a child, that I would share my powers with my wife and she would have the power of one of my eyes. Where was it? Oh, yeah. My mind was clear, my head was clear, and my mind was in order. My house was in order. So when I was going over the bedroom, like thinking about it, how heaven portrayed my emotional headspace and emotional emotion space became clear when I was speaking it. because I was like, what is it? Okay. My room was full of light. It was interesting to perceive. You could see the little things that I have collected, like things that matter to me, intricate toys. Like, what do I have? Just like this little figurine inside of a hexagon. I have like this little intricate Zerg from StarCraft. I have a signed print from the creator of Kim Possible, which was a show I really liked. A hand-stitched picture of Squall from Final Fantasy VIII. But what else was it? The room was full of light. It was interesting. It was made of good wood. It was well defined. It had life. It had color. It was well built. It had good space. It had good flow. It had good design. It had good architecture. It felt like home. It felt like comfort. It was welcoming, and it was spiritually warm, and it was intelligently or masterfully made. And I was like, wow, heaven's just like complimenting me a lot. So I thought that was cool. Okay, so this is interesting. So, okay, you know those flat cup holders from Starbucks? I think this was one of Lindsay's friends that showed up. And so this cup holder, it was like a cup holder, but it's on its side, and it was like 6 feet tall. Well, yeah, I think it was like 6 feet tall. And then it showed up at my roommate's front door, because we live in his mom's house while he goes to college. He said, I think there's like another Christmas package here. Oh, and he goes to the door and he looks and he goes, oh, well, let's fold you down and get you inside. So I don't know if maybe she had like a lot of luggage or something. I don't know. And then I go, wait. Maybe there's something here. And I go, hang on, she might be pregnant. So that was interesting. And he goes, what does that mean? And I said, honestly, we probably won't know till that day. Because prophetic words will sometimes have this, not confusing, but this enigma that you can't click together until heaven kind of wants you. It's kind of like a fuse. And so you can kind of think about it, but it won't really click until that moment. And I remember she was looking at my phone and there's like an angel picture on my desktop. It's like kind of fantasy, futuristic, and on my desktop on the wallpaper. And I remember she thought that was interesting. And then Milo, like Yiannopoulos, however you say his last name. I saw him looking larger than life in a pink suit with like a pink overcoat. I was like in a cave and I had this cloak on. I looked a little bit kind of like Dracula or like a Doctor Strange wizard, and the cloak like pulled at me. So the mysterious nature of which I ascribe is very much alive and operates within and about me. And then cleaning off a seat to sit down. I don't know what that part of the dream was, cleaning off a seat to sit down. Maybe getting on the driver's seat or getting ready to roll or something. Putting the lid on the container, smashing it together. Small container. It was like makeup? No, breath mints. I don't know why breath mints. There's a Donald Duck cartoon about that. A certain amount of smooth things to say in my life. Make sure I don't waste the times I'm up there saying them. That sounds about right. A new cord plugged into my wall, a black cord, a long wall. So it must be me spiritually tethered to someone. So that's not bad. But that was all from December 11th. Yeah, love you guys.